Hello and welcome to Scoutabout from home. This is another vlog. As you can see, it's a bit slightly different. On this one, what I'll be doing is I'll be going on Google Earth in virtual reality, which I'll put up over the screen on this, so it's not just seeing me. And what we'll be doing is we'll be looking at some interesting scouting places. So to start off with, we'll have a look at some of the campsites in Greater Manchester West. One thing I bear in mind is that it is Google Earth, so it's like a flat view. And what they've done is they've used some sort of algorithm to make the trees and things appear 3D. So you can't see some of the detail underneath where there's trees, but you get a good idea. So yeah, I hope you like it. So I'll get cracking into this and I'll minimise this so you can see what I'm looking at. And let's get going. I'll try and not move too quick because it might make quite a strange sensation. So it's loaded up in Venice. Let's go to menu. And let's go to saved. Okay, so where we'll start is... let's start at Bispam Hall in Billinge. So this is Bispam Hall from above. What I'll do is I'll move you in and we'll start from, so for people who recognise it, we can go on Street View, which is what we'll do here. So if people recognise this, that's the church, and I'll just move up a bit. Okay, so that's the church hall where 8th Wigan meet. Go up past the pub the whole times. Again, this Google Street View, the actual 360 pictures could be quite old, so you know some of this might change. People will be thinking that's not been there for a while. And then we move up, and that is the entrance to Bispam Hall Scout Estate. So yeah, and I've just gone past it. Let's go back down there. No, maybe not that far. Takes a bit of getting used to this. Okay, so you can't go in there because obviously Google Street View haven't been in. There's been some 360 pictures taken over the years, but what we'll do is we'll just exit that. And as you can see, some of the trees they've tried to make and realistic size, but you get an idea of this is kind of what it looks like. So what we'll do is we'll just fly out a bit because that's a bit hard to see. So you go through the main drive. This is the car park, and again a lot of it's under trees, so you're not going to see the loads of it. But what you have got is over here is Bispam House. You recognise the parking at the back. That's the main drive up, and you also have the car park is just through here, so that's Waterloo Field, and around the back of there will be the chapel somewhere, and that's some of the open spaces just to the side. But as you can see from the bird's eye view, is you've actually got Bispam Hall itself there, which is a private property. It is surprisingly close to where the campsites run from, which just kind of shows that it was all one big site. If you've got the relatively new toilet block, and then back in here you've got the just a bit of a kind of representation of the main square, if you call it that. You've got the offices there. Again, he's tried to make pictures of cars and things, but not super successfully. But you know, you've not quite got the lamppost and things, but it gives you an idea of kind of scale of things. You've got the bins, you've got parking spaces there. Again, the trees aren't particularly well done and they're a bit big. But you've got the summer house in the field. Again, I'll have forgotten most of the names, so it could be paddock or whatever they're called. But so you go over here and you've got the climbing tower, or the old climbing tower in the barn. Obviously, when this was taken, there was a group on here, but whatever software they've used, in terms of, I don't know if you can see that, again the trees are huge, but they've made the tents look pretty 3D. So I'm stood in the middle of the field now, up there's where the barn is, But yeah, it's pretty impressive. I'll try not to zoom through that tree too much. Oops. And then here you've got valley near side and valley far side, and the ditch in the middle, and through here you've got the well-known pond, which if you're like I am now, stood in the middle of, it'd be like you're in the middle of the chariot race. So in theory you could do the course, but because the way the trees are made on here, it doesn't create space under the trees. But it is quite cool to actually have a good look around the campsite. You can even see the farmers' fields and houses that have been built. Again, this looks like when the Houses estate weren't all built, so there is houses relatively close to Bisping Hall now, on other sides. Again, you've got more of the camping fields. Once again, I don't quite know the names, so I'll have to apologise for that. And through here, in the middle of this, again, no outbuildings for the hall itself, but in this little gap here, you've got the toilet block and the cruise quarters and the turning circle and the field behind that. And then through there, you'll have where the larva is, which again you can't see because it's on the trees. In this end, you'll have where there's the smaller pond area, and roughly somewhere there'll be the campfire circle, which is roughly around here. So yeah, so that's a quick look at Bisping Hall. It's quite cool to see it from an aerial point of view. I'm sure many of you have camped there before. Again, I might have got some of the names and things wrong, but it's quite a cool look. So what we'll do is we'll move on to Dunham Campsites, which is another one in Greater Manchester West, or situated within Greater Manchester West. A lot of the campsites run themselves and are owned by various counties and districts, but so this you'll be able to see is the main field. You have the flag base there. Again, the trees are kind of in the way a bit, so whereas this will be quite open, and you can see little pockets of where the campsites would be. You've got it done quite well in terms of the level that is lower down. The gap there is probably where the campfire circle is. Again, you've got the pond here, which is good to see. And there's the actual boundary for the national park, and in the distance you can see the don't know what it's called, Dunham Hall or whatever it's called, but the main building in the actual national park, National Trust's Deer Park. So you've got a few bits down here. Again, it won't probably look like that now. I know they've had some flooding and things, but some of the old archery areas and things like that. Hills used for grass sledging, but we'll just have a quick look around. Yeah, again, that's the farmer's field. You recognise the track in. I wonder if it'll let me actually get that close. Farm walk, many people will recognise. So yeah, that's basically going into Dunham there. So that's as far as it'll let me go. Whichever vehicle did this, it had to obviously turn round. But that's what Dunham's like. We'll just do one last little look at the main buildings. Again, you can't see the lords, but that's the barn there. That's the lodge you can stay in. But yeah, there's plenty to look at. You can see plenty of the campsites. So this is good. Look, you can see all this on Google Earth anyway and Google Maps. But it's quite a cool little bird's eye view of everything going on. So we'll go on to the menu again, and we'll go on search, and we'll see if it'll let me search Hollingwood, which is a in development campsite. Let's see if that returns anything. I think it was Hollingwood Scouts. Okay, so it won't, from when I've vaguely visited it, this will not represent what it looks like now, but that gives you an idea of basically the location it is in Worsley. You've got the canal up there. Yeah, so this is kind of the main field that they've done all sorts with. wooded area. Again, there's farmers' fields and things around. Probably won't look nothing like this, but again, it's good to see the amount of space there is. And if we go back through here, even in the distance, I can see something off the main road, which many people will recognise as the old Middlewood campsite. So obviously there was the garden centre that was various forms of disrepair, etc. But obviously this doesn't exist as is now. I think they've still got the original accommodation. Again, there's a name for it, can't remember exactly. But many people have many pleasant memories of this, so I thought I would just come and I think that will not take me far enough up. Yeah, that's as far as it takes me up there on the street view. But many people remember this car park. I used to come here doing explorers, doing wide games. They had the Beavers anniversary camp here. People remember the wood pile, the warden's hut, and the flag green. Again, many fond memories. I think this was called the Cub Field, and it had a building in the corner, or a few buildings. So many people remember that. And there was a couple of fields down here, which people used to camp on as well. I remember the walls. That's why I remember some of the campsites. One other feature, Middlewood. There's a campfire circle around and about, but it was quite a warren of different areas. Again, a lot of this has been bulldozed, flattened, you name it. There's a main path there. Was the pond area. Many people have done many rafting, etc. Over the years. There's containers, and there was a bit of a island type thing there with this strange. Can't remember the name of it now. The moon house, the star house, where you could see the moon or the constellations, etc. in it. So yeah, so basically that's our quick whiz through of campsites, past and present, within Greater Manchester West. Hope you found it slightly entertaining. I might be doing some more on other campsites, but it's just a bit of something different to look at. And yeah, so hopefully I'll do another video soon, and that's just been a bit of escapism, because at the moment many people can't go and visit these campsites, so it's quite fun just to do a bit of sharing in VR. So if I'll take this off and I'll actually look at the camera now. Yes, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.